John Gregory and Dwight Yorke. Now, there's a lot of talk at the moment about an Aston Villa star striker upsetting the manager by saying he wants to leave. Now, older viewers will know that we've been here before. Back in 1998, Alex Ferguson was not a happy man. A new manager had come over from Japan and introduced radical ideas like eating pasta, chewing your food, and not drinking 10 pints a day. And as a result, had won the league for Arsenal. Now, everybody knows when Fergie's upset, someone's got to pay. Unfortunately, on this occasion, it was Aston Villa. Fergie set his sights on our star striker Dwight Yorke, who'd been at the club since the early 90s when Graham Taylor and Doug Ellis spotted him on an entirely work-based trip to Trinidad and Tobago. Now, Dwight Yorke had grown into one of the best strikers in the league. And a year before, I remember Kevin Keegan standing on the steps at St James's Park, pleading with the Newcastle fans after he sold Andy Cole to Man United. Now, this time, Fergie was willing to sacrifice Cole in a swap deal to get his hands on Dwight Yorke. But John Gregory was having none of it. It was like, no way are we going to sell Dwight Yorke to Man United. And as a kid, I was like, yes, go on, John, you stand up to him. But we all know when Doug Ellis is involved and money's involved, you can never say never. But say what you like about Deadly Doug, he was a good negotiator and he was standing firm against Man United until the day when Dwight Yorke walked into John Gregory's office and said, I don't want to play for Aston Villa anymore. I want to go to Man United. Now, the famously outspoken John Gregory in a press conference a few days later said, if I'd had a gun, I would have shot him, which is a pretty extreme thing to say. But Gregory later explained that his association with Aston Villa had gone back so far, back to 1977, when he'd signed under Ron Saunders. And he couldn't fathom the idea that someone would not want to play for Aston Villa. He was so deeply offended by that idea. Now, in the end, Dwight Yorke would go to Man United. He'd get his move, £12.5 million. And at the start of that season, I was so worried about how Villa would get on without their star striker. But the rest of the Villa team responded and showed that they didn't need Dwight Yorke. And they went on an amazing run, helped by two brilliant new signings, Paul Merson and Dion Dublin. And at Christmas that year, Villa were sat top of the Premier League. Now, did they stay there? Talk about that another time. Right, up the Villa.